This is an examination of teaching styles and attitudes towards blog use. The authors of this paper are Dr. Norshidah Mohamed and Dr. Shahriza Abdul Karim from International Business Schools, University Technology Malaysia, and Normie Azura Abdul Jamil from St. John Institutions, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This is my presentation outline. A blog is a form of network media that characterizes the widespread application of the internet and the growing information age development. A blog features bilateral interactions, hypertext link, dynamic updates, and wide coverage. A blog allows users to record their working process and connect internet information resources. Blogs have been used for a variety of purposes in teachers' education, for example, as a means of generating elements of work-based electronic portfolio, and as a way to promote peer support and peer learning. The use of blog has been evaluated across a diverse range of educational settings, including healthcare educations, post-secondary educations, higher education in general, and in informal learning setting. The importance of attitudes towards adoption of new technology cannot be understated. In educations, Huang and Liao emphasize that regardless the sophisticated and powerful state of technology, the extent to which it is implemented depends on teachers having a positive attitude towards it. We found evidence in other researches that support the critical consideration of attitudes towards technology in educational setting and discussed them below. Kind studied 184 pre-service teachers and their use of information and communication technology (ICT). Kind found a significant relationship between computer attitudes and IT use. Yuan and Ma administrated the Chinese computer attitude scales to 216 secondary teachers in Hong Kong. In examining the factors that influence the instructional use of computers, they found that effective attitudes are a significant factor in ICT use. Hong and Co. investigated the attitudes of 200 Malaysian rural secondary schools teachers towards computers. They found that rural secondary teachers generally had positive attitudes towards computer, while teachers who owned computer and had more computing experience had more positive attitudes than teachers who had less computer experience. Wong and friend examined the use of the internet among 310 pre-service teachers in Malaysia using survey method. They found attitudes towards the internet were positive and concluded that pre-service teachers would integrate new technology effectively in classroom instruction, either as a teaching tools or as a learning medium. Salim referred teaching styles to the procedure or processes adopted and employed by teachers in order to achieve the day-by-day objective of the lessons. They are also to conglomerate the one views, convictions, and approaches on the attainment of maximum result in the teaching learning process. Teaching styles are personal attributes of a teacher and vary from one teacher to another. Kaplan and Keys define teaching style as a teacher's personal behavior and media used to transmit data to or receive it from the learner. Conti and Collade coined teaching style as an implementation of teachers' philosophy about teachings. But according to Grasha, he characterized 5 teaching styles. First is experts, followed by formal authority, personal models, facilitator, and delegator. Teachers with expert style possess knowledge and expertise that a student needs. They strive to maintain status as an expert among students by displaying detailed knowledge and by challenging students to enhance their competence. This style is concerned with transmitting information and ensuring that students are well prepared. Teachers with formal authority styles possess status among students because of knowledge and role as a faculty member. This style is concerned with providing positive and negative feedback, establishing learning goals, expectations, and rules of conduct for students, beside with the correct, acceptable, and standard ways to do things and the structure they need to learn. Teachers with personal model styles believe in teaching by personal example and establish a prototype for how to think and behave. They oversee, guide, and direct by showing how to do things and encouraging students to observe and then to emulate the instructor's approach. Teacher with the facilitator styles emphasize the personal nature of teachers-students interactions. This style is characterized by guiding and directing students through asking questions, exploring opinions, suggesting alternatives, and encouraging them to develop criteria to make informed choices. Teachers with delegator styles concern themselves with developing students' capacity to function in an autonomous fashion. Students work independently on projects and in autonomous team. The teacher is available at the request of student as a resource person. The use of student as a research participant in the past researches on using block in education has dominated the literature. However, there appears to be a scarcity on the perspective of teachers' use of block in education. The aim of the research is to investigate the teacher's perspective. The research question is, what teaching styles predict teachers' attitude towards block use? In this study, our focus is on teaching styles as an external and independent variable. The dependent variable is attitudes towards block use. There are 5 hypotheses. The study adopts a systematic stratified sampling approach using Malaysian government secondary schools in Keramat Zone of Kuala Lumpur as the population. Out of 20 schools in the zone, 10 schools were selected as sample with 700 teachers are responded. We use a survey questionnaire and adapt items from previous researches. For attitudes, we adapt the measure based on Albarini. For teaching styles, we customize from the Grasha-Riechman Teaching Styles Inventory. The questionnaire was prepared in dual language, English and Bahasa Malaysia. A pilot test of the instrument was conducted at a particular school in the sample and feedback was incorporated in a revised questionnaire. We conducted descriptive analysis to determine the characteristic of the sample. In answering the research question and test the hypothesis, we then perform reliability analysis and internal consistency check, correlation analysis, and regression. We used SPSS version 16. This is the finding. The majority of teachers were female with 88.1% and the remainder proportions with 11.9% was male. The majority of teachers were in 30 to 39 age group. Table 1A shows the breakdown by age group. The majority of teachers have more than 10 years teaching experience. There was an equal proportion for those with less than 6 years and between 6 and 10 years of teaching experience. We then analyze the reliability and internal consistency for the constructs. Reliability range from 0.656 to 0.744. According to Hare and Friends, Cronbach alpha above 0.6 for exploratory study is considered reliable. Thus, all constructs in the study are reliable. Table 3 shows the correlation analysis result. The correlation values shows range from 0.274 to 0.752. The strongest relationship was found between formal authority and personal model. The relationship between personal models and attitudes towards block use is the weakest. Overall, all teaching styles exhibit a weak relationship with attitudes towards block use. Further, we observe that all teaching styles have strong correlations among one another. Multiple regression analysis was performed. Based on Table 4A, the model explained 18.9% of the variance in attitudes towards block use and that the models reach statistical significance. In answering the research question, we note in Table 4C, the largest beta coefficients is Facilitator. This is followed by Delegator. Teachers exhibiting Facilitator and Delegator teaching styles would have more favorable attitudes towards block use in teaching. There is evidence to suggest that Facilitator and Delegator teaching styles predict teachers' attitude towards block use in teaching. Conclusions. The research contributes to knowledge in that it provides evidence for reliability of teaching styles inventory in dual language and attitudes towards block use skills in Malaysian schools context. It appears that this is the first research of its kind that tests the relationship between teaching styles and attitudes towards new technology for a teaching profession, considering that by far past researchers focused on students' adoption of blocks for learning. The research contributes to practice in that school administrators may now consider developing teachers facilitator and delegator teaching styles and getting students to acclimatize themselves to these styles in the event that blocks are to be implemented as supplementary teaching tools for schools. Some limitation exists and should be acknowledged. Firstly, the research used cross-sectional approach and was static in nature. Therefore, the research did not directly examine the temporal aspect. Future research may consider longitudinal approach. Secondly, the research used selected schools in Kuala Lumpur. Future research may consider other states or countries and examine difference in culture effect. Thank you.